welcome to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to apply our Sonax Profiline CC1 hybrid coating. This is a 1-year coating and it's one step, hence the name CC1. So what do we get in the box? Let's find out. Open her up. So you get a lovely instruction manual, which we like to provide with most of our products. This has, different languages, but it really does go into depth, on how to apply it. What else do we get? We get our bottle of CC1, okay, and we get 4 applicators here, which is our Sonax coating applicators, okay, which unlike CC36, if you've seen that before, they have the microfiber that you have to wrap around. This one, we've already attached some microfiber to it. So it's a hard foam, extremely soft foam, and then microfiber attached to it. Okay, you can actually buy these separately as well. So you get 4. Now why do you get 4? The answer is because this kit is enough for 2 vehicles. Okay, and what happens with CC1, especially in high humidity or higher temperatures, it can actually start to cure off as you go around the vehicle, and the pad can actually start to go quite hard, which means we give you a spare one. We give you a spare one, so obviously there's 4, 2 for each vehicle. So that's what we get in the box. So how do we apply it? All right, the first thing we need to do before applying any long-term coating is we must wipe down the area with our Sonax Profiline Prepare. Okay, it's paint-safe solvents if you haven't seen it before, which just degreases the panel of any polish residues or waxes or whatever that can fall onto the panel. It's very, very simple. Just wipe around the area, just very gently. Don't apply any pressure, just let the solvent and the cloth do the job. And there we go. Let's pop that one over there. Okay, and now that's fully degreased and cleaned and ready to accept the coating. Okay, obviously you need to go around the whole vehicle first with Prepare before you go to the next step. Don't do bits by bits because it will just become confusing, and also as you're wiping down with Prepare, you could easily wipe off the coating. Right, so then we take our applicator and our dripper bottle. Okay, it has a child-safe lid, so you have to push it down to unscrew. Okay, and then we apply just a few drops. Okay, and then we can apply to the panel. Now the size of the area that you want to work is it's a bit of it's different. So if it's hotter temperatures, then work smaller areas. If it's colder temperatures, then obviously you can work larger areas. The application temperature for this is minimum 10 degrees. So make sure you either have your workshop or it's a warm day for you to apply. Have your workshop warm. And you just want to spread this in straight lines like you would with any other coating. It's quite thick. It's not super thick, but the viscosity is definitely more than water or anything like that. It's quite an oily sort of feel. Okay, and we just make sure we get a very nice even coating. As I said, depending on the temperature or the vehicle, you can work larger areas. In my experience, I've done like say half the bonnet was good enough, but there is now a curing time. So the curing time again depends on conditions and paint type. So it can be anywhere from 1 minute up to 5 minutes. Okay, so you have to just test a little bit. By the time you've done the first bit, you'll know, but it's normally around minimum 1 minute. Okay, so don't disappear off and do other areas of the car while you're waiting for it to cure, because if you wait too long, then this actually can be quite tricky to remove and you'll end up with high spots. You can dissolve that with Prepare, but then you have to reapply. And just, you just end up wasting time. I've done it before, voice of experience, done a few patches, and I think I'll do another bit of the car and another bit, and then by the time I've come back to wipe the first bit off, it's quite tricky to get off, and then by the time I get to the other bits, they are beyond removing, so I have to dissolve it and then go again. That was in the early times of working with the coating, so that's a little bit of experience for you. Okay, so I'm going to leave this a few minutes. It's not the warmest day in here today. It is only about 11 degrees in the workshop. I've had the heater on for a bit. So I'm going to leave this a few minutes and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so I've given that a few minutes to cure, so I'm just going to have a little look and check to see. Yeah, so there's no real tell just looking at it whether the coating is cured or ready to be removed or whatever. So the way I like to check is just if you run the cloth very gently, if it's taking a little bit of effort to remove, then in my experience, that's perfect. If it's coming off after a couple of wipes or it's spreading easy, then just leave it a bit longer. You want it to be a little bit sticky as you're removing it, and that's normally the perfect sign. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Always removing the worst or the majority with the first few wipes, and then I can turn the cloth and then very gently remove the rest and just keep turning the cloth. So. Apologise for the rattling for the bonnet stand. Okay. And there we go. Very, very simple. A few more now, just remove. Very, very easy. The application process is, as you see, very, very simple. As I said just a second ago, if you wipe it, it's not quite ready, just leave it a bit longer. If you've waited too long and it's really, really difficult to get off, the prepare spray will dissolve it within the first 12 hours. You just have to reapply and then you can go again. The do's and don'ts for future. So once you've applied it to the vehicle, it must sit for at least 4 hours to cure. So ideally you want to be inside in a nice temperature controlled environment to let it cure. Once it's cured, don't wash the vehicle for 7 days, which is the same with all of our coatings. And then just do your usual maintenance with your pH neutral washes and stuff like that. The water beading is very, very good, and also the colour restoring effect is amazing. But price versus, and performance of this coating is just insane. Right, so it needs its cure time. You want to see the beading, so I'm going to leave this a few hours, and I'm going to come back to you and put some water on it and see what we got. Okay, let's see what kind of beading we get now it's all cured. Pretty good. And there we go, the beading's pretty good already, to be fair. Over the next 7 days that will actually get even better, and the gloss levels of the vehicle will improve as well as the coating properly cures and hardens. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications button so you keep up to date with any videos that we post, and I will see you in the next one.